What's up guys, it's Feliciotti, and today we answer the question that nobody's asked, and that's how many photos have I taken? Specifically, we're going to be talking about shutter count, shutter life, and how you can check how many photos you've taken on your cameras. Now, if you're unfamiliar with shutter count, most cameras have a mechanical shutter in front of the sensor that prevents light coming in. Regardless if you use a mirrorless or DSLR, it has a mechanical shutter. So every time that shutter goes up and down, that's considered a shutter count. So every time you take a photo, you're going to be using some of your shutter count. Now, why would you want to know how many photos you've taken on a camera? First of all, it's just fun, so why not? But secondly, cameras actually have a shutter life. So higher quality cameras will have a higher shutter life. So for example, you can see that the 5D Mark IV has a shutter life of 150,000. Maybe you take a lot of photos on your current camera and it's very old and it might be time for getting it repaired, or it might be time to upgrade. So in this video, we're gonna be checking out how many photos I've taken on my 5 Canon cameras, and I'll show you how to check your shutter count on your cameras. So for a Canon camera, you either have to get on the Wi-Fi network as your computer and use an app called Shutter Count. I'll link the app in the description of this video. But if you have a Nikon or Sony, you can just check it online using one of your latest files from your camera, because the shutter count is actually embedded in the file. So here's an example of checking Sony shutter count. You can see that this is only 200 exposures on this file. So for a Nikon camera, here's another website I found. You just upload your file and you see it'll give you a shutter count from your Nikon camera. So to check your Canon shutter count, you actually have to get your camera on the same Wi-Fi or use a USB connection. I've already set this camera up to be on the Wi-Fi, so all I'm gonna do is turn it on. So you can see after we join the Wi-Fi, the shutter count pops right up, and I've only taken about 4,000 photos on this 70D. Another neat feature of this app is that it'll actually tell you the percentage of your lifespan of the camera, so you won't actually have to look up the lifespan of your shutter. And it'll also keep track over time of your shutter. So for example, I don't have any data in here, but you can develop trend lines and data like that. So I've actually run all the numbers on all my cameras already, including my T1i, which is my first camera I've ever had, which only had 19,000 photos. My Canon 70D, which had 4,000 photos, as you saw. My Canon EOS R, which is what I primarily shoot on now, which only has about 35,000 photos taken on it. My Canon 5D Mark IV, which has about 60,000 photos on it. And the camera that I've used by far the most is my Canon 6D, which actually was my full frame camera, which has about 70,000 photos taken on it. And now that we've collected all the shutter counts from all my cameras, we can actually get a total number of photos that I've taken on all of my cameras over about 9 years of photography, and that is 186,000. And if you want more useless stats, I even looked up when I bought my Canon T1i, and that was May 31st, 2010. And you can look up how many days have passed since then, and actually get a number of how many photos you've taken per day. And you can actually use that data to find out how many photos you've taken every day on average. And for me, it's around 53 photos a day, which seems pretty crazy. Let us know your shutter count in the comments. I'm sure there's someone out there who has a lot more photos taken than I do. And thanks again for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Remember to like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. My username is someguy. See ya.